I'm Rachael Sage, and this is A-Sides.
So those sounded very delightful.
Thank you.
Almost like I'm not a dancer. It's shocked, right?
No? I was hoping maybe later we could take each other for a spin.
No. I'm like Eugene Levy in that, I forget which movie, The Two Left Feet. Did you see that? It's Christopher.
Didn't see
it's a
it,
Christopher.
But I sure love him.
No, it's
and
a
I can imagine.
It's a Christopher Guest movie, and he's like, you know, they talk to the camera, and he's like, oh, I can't dance because I have 2 left feet. And he goes, no, really, I have 2 left feet. I just go in circles. And they show a clip of him just going in circles. So that's me,
Something
really.
to look forward to later
yeah.
on a plane.
Right.
I'm going to pull that one up.
I don't think it's Best in Show. I think it's Guffman. Anyway, whatever. I'm a bad dancer. There is something very, and obviously the title of your new record, and congratulations, it just came out.
Thank you.
It is very, I want to say like breezy. I don't know, like it's
has
very,
a flow, doesn't it? Doesn't it just make you want to
just like dance,
Yes.
Yeah. When I looked at, like when I do that, I look like a bird about to die.
I don't know that anybody looks good doing that. I'm just,
No, it works,
faking
it works for you.
Okay, thank you.
It works for you. I look like a dead chicken.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway.
So self-deprecating, we're going to get along so great.
Yes. So, but talk to me, like, you know, I know that you have the whole dance bomb placements with your songs and all that. And your background's completely, you know, in dance early on.
That's right.
Why was now the time to kind of do a reflective record on that period?
You know, it just sort of happened around me that these dancers who were competing in these national competitions started using my music. And they were digging back pretty deeply into my early catalog. So, you know, people would alert me to the fact that someone was winning a competition in the Midwest, you know, to a song I wrote 15 years ago. And I would go check it out, and you used the word delighted. Never was I more delighted than seeing these really, really talented, emerging young dancers reinterpreting my music. And, you know, there are a lot of artists who probably don't listen to their work once they complete it, at least not for a long time. And that is certainly the case with me. I kind of keep a healthy distance from my past creations, but it definitely breathed a new life into it. And it gave me all kinds of ideas for composing a project from scratch with dance in mind. So I really have all these young dancers to blame who are, you know, winning trophies to my songs, which is a strange concept because dance to me has never been a competitive thing. I was a ballerina, and you just showed up and did your best and tried not to get yelled at. But yeah, so here I am.
Now, I mean, has it, and you tour very often, and this is like, and you're very prolific. I mean, I feel like you put out an album every half hour. But
in somebody's years, yeah.
No, you know, like, I mean, it's like on average every year or two
so,
or something. Yeah. So, have you revisited your old stuff, reinterpreted it when you're out on tour, or do you still kind of?
Oh, sure, yeah. And you know, my idol is Elvis Costello, and he does that spinning wheel, you know, and I try to give my audiences a little bit of that leeway too. So you try to be prepared. Once in a while, people ask for a song that you haven't played, you know, forever and ever. And you know, I usually try to at least do part of it if I don't remember the whole thing. But at this point, I've got 12 records, so it is a lot for my aging mind to retain. I do my best.
And I mean, you're the epitome of kind of do-it-yourself with so many different, on so many different levels, right?
It's a very kind way of calling me a control freak, and I appreciate your
softness. I was going to say, like, you know, a workaholic. So, you know, in a good way, though. I mean, you run your own label, too. I mean, how do you kind of find the time to balance everything you do?
This is the presumptuousness of assuming I find the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it right now. Maybe it's...
Those are very nice sneakers.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. You know, I think it boils down to priorities. You know, if you really want to do something, you're going to do it. People essentially do what they want when they have, you know, the buffet in front of them. And a lot of times I procrastinate real life responsibilities and things I don't want to do for as long as I possibly can. You know, anything from dealing with my mail after a tour to, you know, meeting up with certain relatives, whatever it may be. You know, I'm not the best time manager, I don't think, but I do hyper-focus, and I'm a little bit obsessive. So I think that those attributes actually help me as a DIY singer-songwriter. And also, I have a wonderful team at Empress Records who've been working with me now for quite a number of years. So, you know, we've all kind of come up together in this mashuggy business.
Right.
And, you know, it's a group effort for sure. So.
And you said, I mean, that you don't manage your time well, but
well,
you're still,
I mean, I'm saying that because today I left my apartment and I'm like, I'm leaving Monday for England. I'm not packed. You know, I haven't taken my dry cleaning. I have nothing to eat this morning in the fridge. These are the moments when
you know, but I mean, in terms of your art, though, I mean, you're pretty.
Yeah,
the follow-through is pretty damn good.
That's my extreme, you know, situation is that I'll stay up till 5 in the morning, you know, drawing, painting, writing songs. Even if there were like 10 other things I should have been doing that were kind of on my quality of life list.
Right.
But like I said, you know, you choose what you want to do, and I think at the end of the day, you know, I don't want to be one of those people who has regrets about not having lived as, you know, rich a creative life as I possibly can. I'm so lucky to be able to be an artist and to connect with people that way, not only in America, but all over the world at this point, which is an amazing adventure.
Yeah. What do you get out of, like, you know, the different mediums that you're a part of? Like, I mean, is there, of all of them, I mean, is there one that's just kind of like, okay, this is a hobby, this is for me, this is my livelihood, this is what I need to do?
I suddenly pictured my imaginary grandmother. What are you getting out of this? I don't understand. What do you do these things for? But
I get mistaken for your grandmother all the time.
I'm seeing her over there. It has nothing to do with you.
Is it how I asked it?
No,
so
it's because it was sort of, you know, a Talmudic big question. I think basically, you know, I'm just one of those people who, you know, I have always spoken much more effectively through the arts. And believe it or not, I was a shy kid. And I had trouble finding, you know, entree into just social situations. And I was bullied as a kid. And, you know, like a lot of kids who got into the arts, we found this haven where it was not only okay to be expressive, but you were encouraged to kind of take the world that you're processing and, you know, transform it into something that at least you think is new. Whether or not it's really new in the scheme of life, you know, is a question. But I'm just addicted to that feeling of making stuff, but also equally enchanted by other people kind of bouncing off of that and giving back to me as well, like the dancers who've performed in my music. And you know, I've been doing something along the tour now, which is really gratifying. We've been visiting some of the dance schools, and you know, just getting a chance to talk to these little kids who are so wide-eyed and idealistic, and they just love what they're doing so much. And sometimes the older we get, you know, the more kind of jaded we can become and bogged down with the business or whatever. And that's just an instant wake-up call to remember why you got into all this in the first place. So I'm having fun with that. I wouldn't call myself a teacher yet, but I do really enjoy being a mentor to young kids, and look forward to doing that more.
Cool. Just last question.
Yeah.
You know, you just released a new music video. You mentioned the whole bullying thing, and the song is pretty, you know, there's a lot of deepness to that song. So just talk to me a little bit about two things. That specific music video, and just the importance of music videos in terms of, like, what you do.
Well, that particular song is called I Don't Believe It. And I got the idea to do sort of an anthemic, festival-friendly track while I was over in England last summer. And I was pretty deep into writing the record. And I had all these ballads, as we pianists do. We write a lot of ballads. And I saw Florence and the Machine on television at a festival. And just the power of her orchestral kind of chamber pop ensemble and this huge audience kind of chanting along with her refrain. So that was the impetus to write the song musically. And then it just felt like the best message that I could put forward to my imaginary crowd that big in my mind was just an empowerment anthem about, you know, just ignoring the people and the forces in your life that are telling you you can't pursue your dream, you can't achieve your goals, or you're not good enough, you know, you're not worth it, whatever the case may be. And the song kind of wrote itself in just a few minutes. So I guess I still had some issues I had to work through. One of the images I had in my head while I was writing it was of a very specific dance teacher who I encountered in my early youth. And the thing with her was that she was undeniably an excellent teacher and imparting some really precious technique to her students. But she was just not a happy person, and there was something about her connection to young people that was just off. And so I could, you know, we could sort of all feel each other trying to get the best out of this learning situation, and then also like summon up all the strength we could to not cry, you know. Yeah. And I think there are a lot of situations in life that continue to be like that dynamic, even when you grow up, whether it be work or peers or what have you. So that was kind of the mission of the song.
Cool. And what about the video?
Yes, the video features this extraordinary young dancer named Casey King, and that's her real name. How cool is that?
Awesome.
And her mom actually approached me on Facebook, and she sent me all these videos of her dancing to my music and just said in a very sort of low-key way, if you ever need a dancer in a video, let me know, Casey would love to do it. And they had heard my music on Dance Moms, and she was just putting it out there. And I had literally just had a meeting with a potential director that week talking about needing to find dancers. And when I saw her movement, I just thought, wow, she's really, you know, an incredible talent. And then I did like a FaceTime session with her, and I got to know her, and she was just so ebullient and excited. And she also really got the meaning of the song. And she's 11 years old, which was the exact age when I really chose the arts as, you know, my vocation. I knew at 11, like, I wanted to sing, write music, dance, act. I wanted to do it all, and it couldn't have been more serious about it than at 11 years old when she has that same focus and passion. So.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks for coming. It is so hot in this room, by the way.
It's a little schwitzy.
It's just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, there you go.